friend, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is my annual work bag video. I take you through the best work bags of the year. I rank them from lowest to highest price and I give you some details about them, but my general criteria for a work bag is it needs to have some kind of closure. It needs to look appropriate for work. Sometimes in a creative field, you can take more risks than something in like a corporate field, but it needs to look appropriate for work and you need to be able to carry it in a comfortable way. So whether that's a backpack strap or a crossbody strap, a long strap of some sort, not just in your hand like a briefcase. And it needs to be able to hold documents. So computers are different sizes and I will let you know what size laptop fits when the brand has provided that. But in general, it needs to be at least 12.5 inches wide and 10-ish inches tall in order to make sense in terms of holding documents. Here we have 25 to go through, which feels right for 2025, but I do have an entire playlist of work bag videos from the past few years where there are hundreds of other options that I have discussed, so I will link that in the description box. So a little less than a third of these I have seen in person, so I will insert applicable video footage, but otherwise we were just going to look at the stock pictures. All right, let's get started with number one. Coming in at $220, we have the Nex Tote Bag. So it sounds like Next, but it's Nex, N-E-X, and this is a Japanese luggage company. It has really smart organization, including a water bottle holder, which is pretty unique among this set of bags. It is a vegan faux leather, so it is made out of plastic. Do keep that in mind. But for the price point, I'm not surprised. It does hold a 16-inch laptop and it has great organization inside. Next, we have the Sans Beast Daytripper Tote. This also holds a 16-inch laptop and has lots of great organization pockets. It's also a PU leather, but it is a certified PU leather. I don't exactly know what that certification is, but hopefully it is a little bit better for the environment than your regular faux leather would be. And then this one also has a detachable crossbody strap. At $268, we have the Radley Oak Street Tote. So Radley London has a bunch of different bags, but Oak Street is the one we're going to talk about today. It is a soft grain leather, has a zip top closure, and has an organization inside and has long straps. For a leather bag, it is well priced. At $295, the Svala simma tote. This one is a faux leather, but it is a faux leather made out of mirum, which is kind of one of the coolest alternative leathers on the market right now. This sustainable fashion is my jam and I really love the interesting materials that we are creating. So mirum is one of my favorites and that one is a plastic-free faux leather. A great option if you're interested in something that is more sustainable. It has a magnetic closure and is your kind of classic north-south tote. It does have some polyester in the interior lining, which I think is too bad. It's a mix of organic cotton and polyester. So it's almost plastic free and I feel like they probably could have found a different lining, but I understand for the price why it is that. So price-wise, we are now jumping up to $395, but I will say this bag goes on sale. I've seen it for 60% off, so do not pay $395 for it. It's the Edelman Cleo tote. It has an interesting woven design, kind of has that Bottega-esque feel. It has a nice middle organizing pocket, and it's something that's a little bit different than your classic smooth leather tote. Next for $398, we have the Minor History Overtime Tote. So this one is gonna be that first kind of slouchier bag that we are gonna talk about today. So this one's got that slouchy hobo style. If you work in a creative field, this could work nicely as a bag if that is more of your personal aesthetic. It's a soft, full grain leather and it has a nice thick strap. It does have a zip top closure, which I think is pretty rare in a large hobo like that. Typically you'll find them more open and it does hold a 16-inch laptop. At $480, we have the Sonya Lee camia tote. This one's also a little bit slouchy. It's kind of an interesting design. It is a recycled leather. It holds a 15-inch laptop and it has that nice thick strap with the studded detail, but the studded detail is not just a design choice. It also is a belt so that you can adjust the size of the strap. At $495, we have the Staud maude. I don't know, I've heard people say Staud, but it's maude, so I like Staud maude. The Staud maude tote. So the circle design of the handle is an interesting, unique aspect, and then it has this kind of like crinkled leather. So it just has a different aesthetic than a lot of the other bags out here. It does have the long strap, which I found pretty comfortable, and the sizing was good. I did find that the actual circle handle was a bit stiff, depending on where you wear your bags and how you wear them. If you wear them on your shoulder, I think you'd be totally fine. If you wear it crossbody, you'd want to make sure that that handle fits you in a comfortable spot. But I love that that handle is always there, so you can easily just grab it and use it as a top handle. The Opelle Vanda tote. So this one is from a sustainable brand. This is $550. It has an interesting shape and it is a vegetable tanned leather. And in general, I would say it's just a very considered design in terms of sustainable practices. It's slouchy and spacious. The Sadelmager Oldenburg messenger bags. This one is kind of like an old world classic design of a messenger bag, but it's more than just like a briefcase bag. It's made from a saddle brand. It's a nice, thick, durable leather. So if you like that messenger bag style, this one is a great choice at $585. At $595, we have the Alemi Zurich Ida tote, and this is going to be the first of two from this brand. It's a flap style bag, can hold a 15-inch laptop. It has good organization and a long strap, and you can adjust the width of the bag as well. I don't always include contemporary brands on this list because I think you can easily find them and I want this to be more unique. So this one I debated putting in here, but we're going to do it. It is the Tory Burch Romy tote, and it is just gonna fit documents, so do keep that in mind. It's a nice classic design. It has a magnetic closure and some nice belting detail, which is definitely a common theme in handbags this year. At $598, we have the Veronica Beard Dash tote, and there's two of these as well. It has this, again, nice belted detail, a nice north-south orientation, long straps, and a magnetic snap closure. At $599, we have the Boss Ariel tote, and they have this in a few different shapes and sizes, but I love the curve of it. I think it is elegant and refined. You can, again, find some that like are a little bit less curvy if you're worried about fitting documents, but they should fit even in this curvy one. It has the classic but subtle hardware on the front, and then on the back, it has a very subtle embossed boss, which of course it's for Hugo Boss, but I think if you are a boss, it could be kind of a fun nod to that. It has the top handle, but it also has an adjustable shoulder strap as well. At $645, you have the Mlouye Isla tote. I think this is a really chic design. It has the nice turn lock on it. It can fit a 16-inch laptop. It has two main compartments with a zippered middle section. The Veronica Beard Grand Goody tote is a little bit less fun, I think, than the two other Dash bags we will talk about by them, but it is a classic, nice tote. The leather feels good on this. It has that full zip top closure. It's a nice size and has good organization, including an exterior pocket, which can be a nice feature. And that one is $648. At $695, we have the Strathberry Melody tote. You can get this in suede or leather, and it has that classic Strathberry bar on it. I have had a Strathberry bag in the past that just like didn't really work. Getting into the bag was fiddly and it only had one strap, and it just didn't quite work out. This one is a much easier tote to use, but you still have to like lift the handles through the bar. You can open the bag and get to things kind of easily with that magnetic closure without fully taking the bag off and putting the bar through the straps. It's kind of an additional security feature as well, I guess, because you can't fully get in it, but it is a nice kind of classic design. It's that typical north-south tote, but then it has that bar detail and nods towards the brand. The Demellier Hudson tote is $745. I really like the design of this one. It's very chic. It's a large size. From my experience handling different bags from the brand, the leather is pretty good quality. $750, you have the Parker Thatch Parker tote. This is a fun bag if you like that kind of like lived in leather look. I think over time this would develop into a really beautiful patina. It's limited production and small batch, so it's kind of fun in that regard as well, and a little bit more sustainably made. And then it has a zip top closure, but it also has D-rings, and they sell a ton of different straps and accessories. So it's a fun one if you like to change up your look, or if you want to have a tote that you use for weekend or for travel, and then a different one that's a little bit more professional for work. At $795, we have the Alemi Zurich tote. So this is the Viaduct 24, and this is a nice large size. I love the classic look of this. It comes in 3 different sizes, though this is the largest, and it comes in a few different colors. I love the green. It's such a beautiful bag. It holds a 15-inch laptop, has a lot of great organization inside, and has that additional strap as well. At $798, we have the other Veronica Beard Dash tote. It has that nice belt detail, and it has an additional strap, which is lovely with the top handle. And then it also has feet on the bottom, which a lot of these bags don't. You are constantly putting that bag down, at least I am when I'm at work. And so having the feet on the bottom is such a nice feature to have. Now we are jumping all the way up to $1,200. This is the ATP Mlouye tote. This is another one that I have on my list. I love the curved design of it. It's so simple, yet chic and unique. It has a laptop sleeve and good organization, and the leather is Leather Working Group certified. At $1,850, we have the Moschino Tiny tote. This one is really fun as well. I love that belted detail. It really does give it a unique look, but it is removable. So it's a great option, again, if you want something fun sometimes and a little bit more serious and professional other times. This also comes in an even larger version that's a little bit more of a travel or weekend size. $2,300, you have the Ferragamo Star tote. So I love the just like subtle, interesting shape of this one. It is otherwise a very classic tote. I also love Ferragamo's leather. And so if you want a classic luxury tote bag that's a little bit unique and interesting, this is a good option. The zip top is really nice to have. And then inside it just has the one pocket. It's nothing particularly special, but it does have the long strap, and you can push the sides a little bit. So it's kind of sewn to stay in place, but it's not super duper rigid. So if you had a few extra things one day and you needed to kind of give yourself as much room inside as possible, you could do it. I almost always choose a Ferragamo bag. They tend to make great totes. And so every year there's typically one on my list. And the biggest seller for Ferragamo right now is the Hug bag. That is a good one, but the problem with the Hug bag is that it is open on the top. There is a flap closure, but the flap sits low down, and also the bag is too short to hold documents, except for the briefcase version, which I believe is in the men's section. And I just don't love the proportions of that one. So to me, the Star tote is definitely the better one from Ferragamo this year. And then all the way up to $6,950, we have the Mlouye Madrid tote. This has a slight trapezoidal, interesting shape, supple and molds to the body, and it has only that one single strap, so you don't have to worry about like that second strap falling off your shoulder all the time. This is the large size, but the sizing like just fits documents, so it is a little bit more tricky and would probably be better for someone who was carrying a smaller laptop or iPad just in case. So those are my 2025 picks. I hope that you were able to find something that you liked. I think we covered a good amount of different styles out there, and certainly a huge wide range in pricing. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Do check out the other videos in the work bag series to find some other inspiration. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a future video. Bye.